All right, everyone. Now we have to talk about Trump's Panama plan. It looks like the actual plan is strong-arm Panama into renegotiating the deal with regards to the Panama Canal. I think here's the way to solve the problem. Now, we don't want a military endeavor into Panama. I wouldn't support it. If Trump does decide to invade the Panamanians, I will be the first and one of the only commentators that supports MAGA to actually criticize him for that. I'm very averse to war. Here's what you do. You say, well, maybe we'll take back the Panama Canal. Panamanian president says, fuck off. Then you gently remind the Panamanian government, we've got like 14 aircraft carriers, so don't fuck with us. We're the ones guaranteeing the shipping lanes that are literally funding a large proportion of your GDP. Then you say, well, we've got a solution. What's that? Says the Panamanian president. It's quite simple. You don't need to cede control of the Panama Canal. We will, in fact, invest in it. Well, let's sweeten the deal. Instead of investing in bullshit like, sending hundreds of billions of dollars to Ukraine for no reason in a doomed war, why don't we spend that money expanding the Panama Canal even further? We can expand the tonnage infinitely. It's nothing to us. We don't have to worry about yellow fever these days as much, so it's a little bit easier. Let's say that we build a new lock. Let's have 4 shipping lanes in there. You increase your GDP because more shipping is going through, because right now, effectively, even after the expansion, it's still throttled because shipping keeps increasing. We increase the tonnage that goes through your country. You are making money by doing this. In return, you allow 2 things, and 2 things only. Well, technically 3. Number 1, we put a U.S. base next to the Panama Canal. You cede a small amount of land and we have a small base there so that we can guard the canal itself. Number 2, you do not tax U.S. ships that are going through the Panama Canal. And number 3, kick out the Chinese influence. The last one would be a little bit more difficult. It appears that the Panamanian El Presidente leans towards the Eastern Bloc. That's a little bit of a problem. It's something that can be addressed, though, diplomatically and politically. It does not need to be addressed militarily. That's not the role of the United States. What you need to do is you need to sweeten the deal and say, look, you're way better off siding with us than you are siding with these other guys. That's all you have to do. The Chinese were, this should be reminded, I think, to the Panamanian president, the Chinese at one point were attempting to build a competing canal in Nicaragua, where they have more influence, or at least did at the time. They ended up building a military base and abandoning the canal plans because they were stupid and they were never going to happen in the first place, but they did threaten to do so. Remind them gently, the Chinese were already trying to backstab you. Why are you going to side with them when we can supply you more money, more supplies, more shipping, everything under the goddamn sun, in exchange for simply having a military presence next to the canal and allowing us to invest in expanding it? We'll do it ourselves. We built the first canal in the first place, so, we can probably do it again, now that yellow fever is not as much of an issue. This, I think, would probably be a proper diplomatic solution, and it could be done very quickly, too. The Army Corps of Engineers is capable of building a goddamn lock. Like, even our woke military is capable of building a canal, so I don't think it'll be a problem. Probably we could use atomic weapons and just blast a passage through and just say, hey, well, there's your canal. You don't even need a lock system anymore. We're probably capable of figuring it out, although it would probably be sabotaged by communists, so maybe that's not a great idea. We can build a bigger, better canal. Trump can put his fucking name on it, put a base next to it, and basically control Panama. And Panama, meanwhile, gains a shit ton of money from it, which means that the people there are not going to complain because all of a sudden they're making twice as much revenue as long as they're near the canal. Everyone wins. Literally everyone except for China, I suppose. I think that this is a good idea, and this appears to be sort of what Trump is aiming for. Like, if I was advising him, that would be sort of the plan. Go ahead and strong-arm them, but you're not actually going to invade Panama, I hope. My hope is that that's not actually the case. Actually the case. Again, I'm playing hurt today. I've got a cold. My hope is that negotiation breaks out, and John McCain will be spinning in his grave, so then you can hook a dynamo up to him and generate, enough power for a small city or something like that. That's about all. Peace out.